Hello everyone and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for, what's the date today? August the 22nd, Wednesday, August the 22nd. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Any questions for me, you can use this email address. Link to get into our free room. You don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our free trading room. I share my screen and get live on the mic around 9 o'clock Eastern Time. I go to 3:30 Monday to Thursday and 3 o'clock on Fridays. This is a subscription link. You'll see a promo code for 15% off the first month of a standard or premium subscription, or the entire year of a standard or premium subscription. All right. Well, kind of an interesting day. Well, interesting. We had some data issues, so that made it a little more interesting, certainly for the first hour and a half or so. But let me just show you what I did, and I'm kind of I don't really know why this is happening, and I'll explain why when I go over this trade. First of all, SMCI, as I was doing my daily work, my pre-market work, I saw this candle, and so the first thing I did was I looked over on my big daily chart. And what do I see? I see nothing underneath. Remember now, this is the stock down here taking out all this. So I thought, man, this could be one of those, that basically moves down all day long. So anyway, bottom line is that I ended up taking this short right here. Okay, Typically, I don't trade that much in the pre-market, but I usually don't trade these more expensive ones, and I usually don't go short. Now, this is not super expensive, I get it, but typically the ones that I'm looking at in the pre-market are these little bios that have these little pops, and they keep going, and usually it's a low float situation, a cheaper stock, lots of activity, etc. But I looked at that when I saw the daily. I thought, man, this is one of those that could just continue on down for the whole day. So I ended up taking this short in the pre-market at around 1370. I covered some almost for $1. What was it? 1275, and then it popped up, and when it just went over 13, I got out. I covered their balance at 1305. But I really thought. Then I looked at the news. Now it appears they did release earnings. But it appears, I mean, the news looks really bad, that they could potentially lose their NASDAQ listing, late filings and all of that. And literally August 24th, I'm not saying it's going to happen on August 24th, but I mean, when you read the news, just do yourself a favor and read the news. So I am kind of intrigued by the fact that it has popped up so much. It basically just recovered off this low. So I got quite lucky. I mean, to be honest, I got quite lucky. Not that I was going to, step away from my computer. I mean, I never would have allowed that to happen. But I mean, I was really thinking, I took the short before I even knew what the news was. It was just a matter of, okay, I like the candle, like the daily chart. Then I read the news, thought, wow, this could be incredible. Anyway, that was the first trade. Took a Holly trade. ATTU, and there was the alert at 1941. I actually ended up getting into this trade right here. I didn't take it right on the Holly alert. I wanted for it to set up a little bit for me. It just kept moving, so it based just a little bit. Looks a little more of a base on the 5-minute chart. Well, let's take a look at it. Not so much of a base, but this right there, this is what I was looking at right there. A little bit of a pullback base, whatever you want to call it. Ended up taking the trade right here around 1969, and it took a while, and then it popped. It got all the way up to 2019. It was really, again, look at the daily chart. This is why I took it. There's nothing left here. So I thought, okay, this has got a great chance. It could, nothing on the daily chart is going to stop it. I mean, a million other reasons can stop it, a stock from going up, profit taking, you name it. But at least I didn't have to worry. When I always talk about looking left, what if all this right there was here? Well, you know what? That doesn't interest me at all, because I think of this as being pretty tough resistance. Now, if it gets through that, great. But I don't like to trade a chart when I'm in it, if I'm trying to get into something and this is just hovering above it. What I'll try to do is I'll wait for that to break out of the resistance area and then maybe see what happens after that. Anyway, Let me just get back to the 15-minute. So I ended up taking the trade right there. I sold some out on an average of about 20.05 as it broke over 20. 20.05, right about there. I know it says 20.08, but that's close enough. Right about there. And then it dropped down. When it dropped down below 20, I got out. I think it was 1992. Yeah, about 1992, right about there. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad trade. Fairly quick. Holly had yesterday one of the probably its best day ever. She was up cumulatively in the three Hollies about $22. Now that day, of course, SPY was just chugging. It started off strongly and it just kept moving higher and higher. Today, Holly's is more back to normal. As we speak, she is up 450, about $5.60 cumulative. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so yeah, these up, and but yesterday she was up about $22, $23. So, and what else? What else have I done today? That's about it. I did take a couple of trades, but really not worth talking about. We did have some data issues at the beginning of the day. That was one reason, and I was trying to help the guys, the developers, say, okay, here's what I'm seeing, copying links for them. Basically, our gappers were not working. So when you looked at the pre-market and you saw something that had gapped up, it looked like it gapped up at maybe 50% or something. That was yesterday's gap. This is one that I saw. I saw, oh my goodness, this is gapped up again. It looked like it had gapped up 50%, but what it was really looking at is yesterday's gap. So it was hard to do a lot of pre-market work. And then even once the market opened, my gap up filter, which needs a gap of 4% before it on the open, its first print, it just kept firing and firing and firing because it was looking at the gaps from yesterday. So that took about an hour and a half, I think, to rectify itself. So anyway, I think that is about it. I do want to get back into the room, see if anything exciting happens for the balance of the day. So let me just bring back the capture program. Again, if you have any questions for me, this is the email address you can use. Link for our free room. I'll open the room, and this is again a subscription link. I'll open the room tomorrow at about 9 o'clock Eastern Time. I'll start to share my screen then and get live on the mic at 9:05. So I hope everybody has a great evening, and we'll see you in the trading room tomorrow. Bye-bye.